Hey, so there's a new Alien show out, and I just saw the first two episodes. To preface this review, I will say I haven't seen any movies in the Alien franchise besides Romulus, which I really liked and enjoyed, so I can't really compare anything to the past entries. I can only speak on how much I enjoyed it personally. How much did I enjoy it, you ask? For that answer, you'll have to watch the rest of the video, because if you don't already know, Tolerance, I watch movies and then I talk about them on this channel. If you enjoy the way that I talk about movies, go ahead and give a like, share, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things so I can continue making YouTube content. So now that we've got that situated, let's talk about the show. I kind of liked it, but I don't know. I'm a little bit more lukewarm on it than most people are. But I can definitely say that it is good. It reaches that baseline level of quality that I can enjoy the show and have fun with it. So let's talk about that. There are a ton of things that are presented, like what constitutes a human to be a human, child exploitation, life, Peter Pan, Ice Age, death, you get it. The show is ambitious and is trying to say a lot, which I really like and enjoy. I'm always a fan of when an artist uses sci-fi or horror to try to get their message across. In this case, both. I also really like some of the world building that's being done, or maybe world expansion. I don't know what phrase you use. Learning about the way the world views synthetic beings and cyborgs adds to the questions that the show is asking, which is, what does it mean to be human? Also, the alien is cooking. Like I said, I've only seen one Alien movie, so my opinion on whether this is true to the original movies, I don't know. I have no clue. But does the alien have aura? Yes. I love everything about the alien. I love the drool. I love the practicality. I love that it feels like a predator that is just hunting prey. Feels like we're out in the wild and the humans are being hunted. And it's just really cool to see the alien on screen do its thing. Another aspect of the show that's really fascinating is the acting. Some of the performances are absolutely top tier. The actors that are meant to be embodying a childlike mind are really bringing that to life, with the best performance coming from our main protagonist, Wendy, played by Sydney Chandler. I think the best thing about her performance is how she uses her eyes and head movement to emit a childlike wonder about the world. What's also really good about her part is the writing. This isn't one of those shows where the children are written like adults and they think like adults. They are actually written like kids and they feel like kids. But Timothy Olyphant is probably the best actor on screen whenever he's present. His character, albeit performed subtly, feels like a guy with history in this world and reasons for why he makes his decisions the way he does. My personal favorite performance has to be Samuel Blinken. When I was watching that first episode, I immediately recognized him as the guy from that one Black Mirror episode where they go to Ireland and discover a sex dungeon. Yeah, that show's insane. Anyways, he brings an eerie presence to the wealthy son that inherits the company archetype that we've seen a million times before. Could have chosen to play the role akin to a more RDJ type performance where he is a little bit more snarky, but I think he decides to be more sinister. Imagine a rich, more ominous Willy Wonka who craves fulfilling social interaction. That's his performance. Now, the main storyline of the show is really intriguing as well, as it's really personal. It's just a sister looking for her brother. We got all this weird sci-fi alien shit going on, and at the heart of the story is just something that I feel a lot of people can relate to, which is bonding with a sibling over the loss of a parent. That's something that I'm sure many people in the world can relate to. And as that being the hook of the show, that gets me right here in my emotions. I'm not gonna lie. To get into some of my problems with the show, I kind of have to get into spoilers. This is that spoiler warning if you haven't seen the first two episodes. Go ahead and watch them, come back, enjoy the rest of the video. But this is your warning. Now that those losers are gone, let's talk about the rest. Now, I have to say the horror aspects of this show kind of suck. They don't work for me. I'm a guy that really likes horror, really likes to be scared, and in this series, I have just not been scared. One time, I haven't really feared for anyone's life. I think they've done well with some of the tension building moments and, building up to it, but it feels more like an action sci-fi than a horror sci-fi, which is okay, cool, but it feels like they are specifically going for that horror, going for that scare. and I'm not feeling the scare. The ending to episode 2 is really fun, where the alien is chasing and they're editing the scenes really together. That's really cool. I like that moment. But earlier in the episode, when they first enter the building, I'm like, I don't really feel anything, because I know that this guy, the brother, has to survive. I know he has to survive because you're building to the climax of the first 2 episodes, which is the sister and the brother have to meet. And honestly, when he gets taken by the alien at the end of episode 2, I'm like, I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Somehow he's still alive. Maybe he dies later on in the season. It would be very surprising to me if we turn on episode 3 next week and the brother is dead. One thing that was really awesome was the alien consistently hiding in frame. You know, it's kind of like a Where's Waldo book. It's like, where the fuck is the alien? Is he here? I have no clue. It is also hilarious that Ice Age is a real thing that happened in the history of Alien, and I love it. That's the kind of thing that makes me more excited for the rest of the season, because while it is a small detail, it shows that the people making this show aren't going to take themselves too seriously and insist upon the show being good, rather than letting the audience determine that. But that's all I have to say about the first 2 episodes. I'll be back next week to talk about episode 3, and we'll see where it goes from there. This has been High Tolerance with another review. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Deuces.